Hello everyone, my name is Catherine Alvarez, and today I'll be talking to you about why euthanasia should be legal in the U.S. The word euthanasia is a Greek term meaning good death. It is already legal in the Netherlands, Belgium, Canada, Luxembourg, Western Australia, and Colombia. According to the government of the Netherlands, it is performed by the attending physician administering a fatal dose of a suitable drug to the patient upon his or her request. Requests for euthanasia often come from patients experiencing unbearable suffering with no prospect of improvement. Personally, I believe in the right of self-government or autonomy. During my research, I found several pros and cons that people who do not support physician aid in death or mercy killing may argue. The most common arguments in favor of euthanasia are patient autonomy, relief of suffering, and that it is a safe medical practice. Philosophers Tom and James Childress, in their textbook Principles of Biomedical Ethics, stress four fundamental principles, which are autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. Autonomy exerts the most influence in this subject. Medicine has always aimed to relieve the suffering of patients from illness and disease. A good example of this is Brittany Maynard, a 29-year-old who chose to end her own life after being diagnosed with a stage 4 malignant brain tumor. Near the end, her symptoms worsened. She had frequent seizures, head and neck pain, and stroke-like symptoms. As they worsened, she chose to abbreviate the process by taking aid in dying medication, authorized under the Oregon Death with Dignity Act. Some con arguments that I also found in my research are: some opponents of aid express concern that once doctors are involved in the business of hastening patients' deaths, they have already slid down the slippery slope. Others suggest that the slope is best exemplified by an expanding list of reasons for electing aid, such as: number 1, people concerned about losing autonomy; number 2, less able to engage in activities making life enjoyable; number 3, fear a loss of dignity; number 4, being a burden on family or caregivers; number 5, losing control of bodily functions. Opponents also point out to an increasing calls in the U.S. for euthanasia. Physician aid remains a controversial subject. Strong arguments remain both in favor and in opposition to the practice. I believe families are less in debt where euthanasia is legal. Since it is not legal in the U.S. yet, hospitals and families also have more expenses, keeping those who have no chance of improvement or participating in everyday life activities by pushing back the inevitable. It sounds harsh to the ear, but it is true. Many families are left with not only the burden of watching their loved ones suffer for so long, but also left in economic hardships. I think euthanasia is mainly illegal here because the majority of the population's Christian values frown upon suicide. It is hypocritical because our basis and founding of this nation is in freedom of religion. We should be able to choose what we want for ourselves. Different religions have different views on deaths. There is a point where ethics and morality and everything else that drives us to make our everyday choices fly out of the window, and love becomes a priority. Personally, I would not want to see a loved one suffering severely in a bed in vegetable state for so long, unable to perform basic functions. As Jack Kevorkian said, dying is not a crime. Medically speaking, making people go on when they don't want to violates their personal freedom and human rights. I am Catherine Alvarez. This is my persuasive speech on why euthanasia should be legal in the U.S.